Everyone keeps talking about Bali, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, and others. But there's one country, that almost nobody is paying attention to, and digital nomads are starting to get in there. And it's definitely been on my list as well. It's cheaper, less crowded, beautiful, and it's just starting to blow up. You don't want to miss this chance. Hi everyone, it's Irena here from Millionaire Migrant. While everyone is busy fighting for scooters in Canggu, in Bali, there's this other island that's quietly becoming the next big thing for digital nomads, potential investors, but mostly as well remote workers. You name it. It's got the visas, the lifestyle, the low cost of living. It got everything. And somehow it's still not on the people's list. So we're here to tell you about it first. And before I say about what country we will be talking about today, no, it's not Philippines, it's not Malaysia, it's not a random island in the middle of the ocean that you probably never heard of. It's a place that you think you know, but you probably don't. And that is Sri Lanka. And if you just raised an eyebrow, trust me, that's exactly why it is so underrated. Stay with me because you really want to hear this. The beaches, the surf towns, the mountain trains, the elephants just randomly walking around. It's like Bali, but way, way back, and also with more culture and way, way, way fewer people. Here's the crazy part. The world is already starting to catch on. The tourists are fine, but when digital nomads are starting going there, that's exactly where you want to be. For lifestyle purposes and eventually in time, for investment purposes, because it is going to become next Bali in a couple of years. So you want to take that opportunity while it's still fresh. Sri Lanka had around 2 million tourists last year, which is, by the way, a 40% jump from even pre-COVID times. And the tourists spend around 3 billion in the whole year in Sri Lanka. The revenue is up, the flights are up, and basically the graph is going up. And you kind of want to be early when stuff like this happens. Why people love it? Well, the first thing are the prices. Again, think of Bali 10 years ago. Before the influencers, before the traffic, before the $8 iced lattes, Sri Lanka is still that cheap. You can literally live comfortably for around $550 per month. Do you know how many places are there where you can live this comfortably and you still get everything? The apartments, the food, transport, everything is not cheap, pleasant. And the lifestyle is wild. Gives you kind of a tropical island vibes. It's still actually livable. Again, it's not in the middle of the ocean and you can't go anywhere. Yes, you'll have palm trees everywhere, but you'll also have good Wi-Fi, co-working cafes, Grab-style transport, modern supermarkets, and it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's still developing and it's still getting there, but there are new co-working spaces, coffee shops, and others opening up every day again because digital nomads are coming. One thing that I love about Sri Lanka is that you can wake up on the beach, you can grab a train and go into the mountains, you can drink the tea in the clouds, and then be on safari by the sunset. It's all within a few hours, and no other island really gives you that kind of range. The climate also is perfect. Yes, you do have rainy seasons or dry seasons, but because of the island, how the island is situated, you can basically go from one part to another, and you go from rainy season to dry season. Rainy season, dry season. And you can pretty much shift and go around the island to avoid the rainy season if you don't like it. Personally speaking, I love the rain. The smell of the rain, open the window. I love it. But anyways, again, it's not everyone's cup of tea to be there during the rainy season. So Sri Lanka is a country where you can do both. And for the investors watching, yes, foreigners can buy condos legally in Sri Lanka. When it comes to the land, unfortunately, it's still same as, for example, Thailand or Philippines. You can lease the land almost for a lifetime. You can't buy it though. But this is exactly how Bali started before the boom that they've got. Right now, Sri Lanka is in that kind of sweet early stage where everything is still affordable and beautiful. But again, it's going to become Bali. And if you don't know what Bali is like, check it out. We did talk about why everybody right now is leaving Bali, and guess where they're going? One of the destinations is indeed Sri Lanka. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. As much as I personally loved Bali, it was one of the destinations when I dreamed of moving to and was planning to move to, but then the traffic happens, the construction, the noise, it's becoming a lot. And by the way, rent is in Bali is right now around 60 to 80% more expensive than in Sri Lanka. Again, Sri Lanka is still in the early stage, the one that Bali had a decade ago. There are, again, more cafes, more expats coming every day, more co-working space popping up. But it's still at that phase where you can actually enjoy it without, waiting 25 minutes for a smoothie bowl or something. And one thing that people keep saying is that Sri Lanka still feels real, like local real. Not everything is really curated for Instagram or anything like that. And they do say as well that people in Sri Lanka are so nice and so open to help you, to talk to you and everything. So even if there is not a lot of digital nomads there, you still can make friends and, chill with them and so on and so forth, which is, I find, very important. And honestly, generally speaking about Sri Lanka, everything is pointing to growth. So tourism, real estate, business opportunities. And that means that if you're not planning to move, this is definitely, I think, the country that you should keep on your radar. And before you pack your bags and go for Sri Lanka, like I'm planning to soon, and I'm going to let you know how that goes. But they are pretty flexible visa-wise. There is a digital nomad visa that you can get by proving the income of $2,000 per month. You do have an independent means visa, which you can get by as well proving at $2,000 per month. And you have my dream home visa, which is a bit more expensive. You would need to make around $15,000 a deposit. But listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to lie to you. There are downsides to moving to Sri Lanka. Firstly, as I mentioned about the visas, especially digital nomad visa, Sri Lanka is still trying to adapt and is still trying to develop a system and prepare for the very big digital nomads boom that will happen. And I'm telling you, it will happen. So what a lot of digital nomads do is that they still rely on their tourist visa and the extensions that they can get with the tourist visa just because their digital nomad visa is late or anything like that. The other thing is that infrastructure can be spotty outside cities. You can't, again, buy the freehold land. And another thing, prices will eventually rise. And that's why we're telling you now about this opportunity, this amazing paradise and opportunity, because they're still cheap. You just need to know what you're getting into. One thing that we don't really like about Sri Lanka is the tax. But I always say as well, tax shouldn't be your first priority. Yes, for some reasons it is. For some people it is. And for me personally it is because I'm still young. I'm still building something, But then eventually I would want to get somewhere else. So why I'm saying this is because foreign earned income in Sri Lanka was not taxed before. But starting April 2025, where all the changes just slapped us in the face, foreign earned income was not taxed. And then in April, Sri Lankans now have to pay tax on their worldwide income. To still have kind of the digital nomads coming, what Sri Lanka did is that they offered kind of, I don't know how to call it, like a relief, where if the tax that you are already paying exceeds 15% in a foreign country, then you will be exempt from whatever that you have outside of Sri Lanka. But those who are paying tax that is less than 15% in another country then must pay the difference to comply with basically the country's 15% minimum tax requirement. But if you're not qualified for this, the regular personal income tax goes from 6 to 36%, depending on how much you earn. Eventually, at the end of the day, here's the truth. You really can't control your home country's economy or the government or the politics or the rules and regulations and everything. But you can control where you choose to live, work, and build your life. And right now, Sri Lanka is again at that rare early stage where the lifestyle is amazing, the prices are extremely low, and the opportunities are still very wide open. And if you want help with figuring out visas, taxes, or whether Sri Lanka or any other country fits you better, that's literally what we do here. We help you move smarter and not harder. We do all the heavy lifting on your behalf. The way that we do that is that we create a blueprint that is specifically made for you on how to accomplish what you want to accomplish, whether that is moving to a tax-friendly country or getting a plan B or incorporating the companies and investing in real estate and others. So get in touch, and I hope to speak to you soon.